I figured some tea would get some people on the call. So we'll spill the tea here real soon. Good morning, you guys. This is what we do every Friday morning at 9 a.m. And I know like everybody's on different schedules and stuff, and there's nothing that's just gonna work for all of us. I'm sorry. What I wanted to create this for was, we all have limited time. Fridays is my dedicated work day. Ryan takes the kids and does homeschool with them and field trips and whatnot. And this is my time I can really just focus on you guys. And so every Friday morning at 9 a.m., if you want coaching, and I'm telling you, Heather, if you have a question, I bet Jeff has a similar question, and so it's really great for you guys to come in and ask your questions publicly because we all learn from that. And sometimes people are like, can you just like make a book and write down all your scripts and all the stuff? And it is so individual. So many answers are so individual. But as you start working through how to answer people, how to invite people, you start seeing some patterns coming up, but it's still going to be individualized. So the one-on-one stuff is going to be much better than me writing you a bunch of scripts. Okay, so if you're new around here, my name is Melissa Brown. I joined LifeVantage almost 4 years ago now, that's weird to me. In December, it'll be 4 years. And we saw LifeVantage at a Building Depth event, okay? That is how we came in. We were traveling at the time and we were in St. George, Utah camping, and I had known Jason from Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and him and I had been talking about other business stuff. Well, I'm scrolling Instagram and it's really funny. As you hear people retell stories, there's so many versions of a story, right? So Dave Madison likes to say I was stalking Jason. I was not. I was just scrolling Instagram one day and his post came up saying where he was. And this is one of the things. So whenever you're traveling, make sure you're using that tag. Even if you post like a motivational quote, if you're in Las Vegas, put Las Vegas, Nevada, make sure that that's tagged up there, because it's amazing how many people that are all over that you forget about. You forget that. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're in Vegas. I don't want to hang out with you. Right. So use those location tags. It's a game changer. I am in this business because Jason posted that. Okay. So we saw LifeVantage, we saw these leaders, and I love Building Depth leaders. So I really want to talk to you guys today about why I'm stepping away from Building Depth. And I'm not telling you this to encourage you to do the same. We all have different journeys and different paths, and I'm going to be really clear about what I am encouraging you to do here real soon. But I just want to tell you my backstory with Building Depth, and then why I chose what I'm choosing now. Even though it is heartbreaking and I've cried many tears over it, I know that I have to make the best choices for my family and for my team. And sometimes that's hard. Even that might not be the thing you want to do. But in the long run, it's the best thing. So I saw LifeVantage through Building Depth. I saw these leaders sharing their failure stories. And I think that is something that we all need to work on, like in our social media posts and different things, is sharing the struggles, sharing the failures, because that's what people are going to be drawn to. They're going to be like, oh, you're not perfect. Like if we just say, oh, look what I created. And this is something I'm actually working on doing better at. And we can have a whole other training about that in the future. But people want to know that you're not, like, it just wasn't easy for you, right? Because if it's super easy for you, when it's hard for them, they're going to be like, well, I just can't do it, right? But so we need to be honest that it was hard for us. And that's what I saw with Building Depth. And I just loved that leadership. I loved what they were sharing. And I loved the up close interaction. Oftentimes in my meetings and my presentations, I talk about the mentorship in this company. I talk about that, how the pay structure works and what that our comp plan builds in mentorship. And I'm telling, if you want to understand our comp plan, go talk to any of your friends that are in another network marketing company and say, hey, I'm working on learning this. Could you share with me how yours works? And I'll share with you how mine works. Or go just search up, go to YouTube and type in any company and their comp plan. You will be blown away by ours. I'm telling you, I think a lot of companies teach that theirs is the best. Okay. Ours really is. Okay, you can Google it. You'll find out. The internet says it's true, so it must be true, right? But you'll see so I tell the story of that mentorship, and that comp plan builds in mentorship. And the story I always share is going to Building Depth. And I asked Blue Elam a question, and I was probably a pro 3, pro 4. It wasn't like he didn't know who I was. I was brand new, but I was running hard. And I said, I just have a question to you about traveling to your teams. How do you decide when to go and how often to go? Like, what do you do about traveling to your teams? Because like right now on this call, I've got people in North Dakota, Montana, Georgia, Arizona, Washington, all on this little thing right now, right? So this is a topic that I think about a lot. And Blue Elam, Pro 11, like top earner, right? He says, I don't have time right now to talk to you about that, but do you have my phone number? And I was like, no. And he's like, here's my number. Call me. I would love to talk to you about that. Guys, that story is powerful. Those kind of stories will build your business because people want to know that there's support. Okay. And there is support and going out to lunch and dinner. And I would sit there and James often teases me about this, but I would sit there and I would ask James and Jason 1,000 questions. Like, you guys know, if there's a Zoom, I'm still the one asking questions, right? Because I'm like, I need to crack this code. If you did it, I can do it. And I just need to know everything you know so I can do what you did, right? And there's so many things that these top leaders do that they don't consciously even think about because it's so second nature for them. And I'm telling you, those are some of the things that you guys just need to learn. I was talking to my friend Jennifer Bishop the other day, and she was telling me the story. I'm gonna tell it to you real fast because it's amazing. I don't even know where she was. I didn't get the beginning part. Like, she was out to, this is in my head, this is how I interpret it. I don't think this is exactly right. She's going out to dinner with her friend. She's in the parking lot of the restaurant or somewhere like that. This is the part I don't exactly know. She was somewhere in a parking lot. She sees this guy with this cool car, and she's like, oh my gosh, what kind of car is that? I've never seen that before. And he's like, it's an Aston Martin. And then they start talking about this Aston Martin, and he's got a Monster Energy drink there with him. And she's like, you drink that crap for energy? She's like, that'll kill you. And he's like, oh yeah, I know. And she's like, man, she said, here, I got something for you. You try this. Because she said, for my business, I share energy drinks, but clean energy that's really good for you. I would love, if I gave you one, would you try it? He's like, yeah, sure. So she gives him an Axio, and then she's like, hey, friend, will you grab me a water bottle out of the car? She grabs her water bottle. This part blows my mind still. I'm still trying to picture in my head. Was it a waterfall? I don't know what she did, but she said, do you mind if I take a drink out of this water bottle first? Because we need some air for it to shake up. And I want you to know I'm not poisoning you. This water's good to drink. And the guy's like, yeah, that's fine. Sure. So Jennifer takes a drink, and that's where I'm still like, did she put her lips on the bottle? I don't know. But she took a drink, gave it to this guy. He put the Axio in it. And then she said, hey, can I take a picture of you with your car? And he is like, yeah, sure. And so she takes a picture of him. She's like, oh, this is such a good one. Let me send it to you. What's your number? I'll send it to you. She gets his name. She gets his number. She sends him this thing. But now she also has this contact, and she sent him an Axio. You bet your bottom dollar she's gonna be following up with him. And I'm like, Jennifer, that interaction right there is what you do all the time. She meets people all the time like that. And I don't think people understand that's how she moves them through, right? There's so much to learn right there. And these are the questions. And this is like, when you see James talking on stage, James is kind of quiet on stage. He's gotten better and better. I know Jeff can tell you, like, he's watched him progress, and James is like turning into the boss that he really is. But if you see him at a restaurant, James Hayden is signing up that waitress. He's getting an appointment set. He's building a relationship. He's talking to them more than he's talking to us. Okay. It's amazing what you will learn going to Building Depth and watching these kind of interactions, watching these master presenters, these master enrollers, watch them do their magic. And it's amazing to watch. Okay. So that is what drew me to Building Depth. That's why I kept going back, because I want more time with my mentors. I wanted that time. I wanted to just see, how do you do what you do? How do you love on your teams? How do you get people keep coming back? Like, what are you doing? And I've loved it. I absolutely loved it. Now, pretty much all of you know. And if you're watching the replay, surprise, I have 6 kids. I homeschool 4 of them. One has graduated now, and one, my older son, and I love him to death. And he's a handful. Okay. My son, he's 16 years old. He is me as a teenager. So this is why I feel really confident and comfortable telling you he's challenging, because I know I was just like that. Okay. And him and my husband kind of butt heads. I don't know if it's the testosterone. We could psychoanalyze it all day long, and we don't really need to, but I just need you to know that when I leave my home 3, 4, 5 days, it's not pretty. My son and my husband, it's rough. It's rough. Okay. And we're driving this kid all over, and we're trying to help him graduate and, move out and get a job and live his best life without us throttling him. Okay. He's a lot. He's a leader. He attracts people to him. I'm telling you, I think most of this gray hair is from Elijah Brown. I'm just gonna he can watch this replay. He's gonna be joining our business. He's coming in, and he's gonna do amazing at this because he's a go-getter, right? But with that, traveling is a challenge for me, mainly because of him. Now, I had to look at my schedule, and I had to decide what is a non-negotiable, where am I going to travel? What am I going to do? And one thing I love, like I went to Darcy's for like 2 days. We got so much done in those 2 days. We got so much intense one-on-one training. We talked to people. We really helped get momentum going in her business. And I would much rather spend my time going and doing that with Darcy than being on stage at Building Depth. I love building up. I love training from stage. Okay. There is nothing that energizes me more than talking to a room of people, like feeding off the energy in that room. Like when I joined LifeVantage, I saw a gal up on stage and I was like, at Building Depth, and I'm like, I want to do what she's doing. Okay. It wasn't that I wanted to go sit in everybody's kitchen and do the presentation. I wanted to stand on that stage and encourage, challenge, motivate, and inspire people. That is really what drew me. And I know that season will come again for me, but I know for the next couple of years, I need to really be mindful about the travel I take. And I can't miss corporate events. I just can't miss those. I can't miss global. I can't miss Elite Academy. And honestly, I want to see all of you, and I want to see all of you together. And so if I'm saying, hey, go to Building Depth and go here, we're splitting. We're having some people go over here and some people go over here. And I'm telling you, you guys are going to be the biggest cheerleaders for each other. Like the love that our team has from those people that have sat around, like, guys, I wish I could go like this and go back to our Airbnb that we had in Georgia. That house and on that land was amazing. And then we just sat outside and laughed and told stories and took pictures and hugged and got to know each other. And those bonds are like tight, right? And I know, like, I hear, like Elissa told me the other day, oh yeah, Kimber called me. Kimber had a dream about me. She's praying for me. Kimber and Elissa know each other because of me, because they went to Georgia together and they got to know each other and built that thing. Kimber and Pastor Lane have been at Jeff's house multiple times. Jeff's not in their downline, but they know him from these things, and coming and getting to know each other. And you guys, our team is amazing. Like, when you start getting out into the LifeVantage world more and you start talking to people, there's a couple cool teams out there that I'm like, oh, I love what they do. I'll tell you, that Hawaii team, they've got culture, like high doses of culture, and they get together all the time and have so much fun. There's not a lot of teams that are close like our team is. And so I really didn't want to divide. At the same time, like I had to cancel that Building Depth, like just drama happened. And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable going. And I hated a last minute cancel, because there's people like Erin. I'm like, I'm going to be there, Erin. It's going to be amazing. Let's go. My first time meeting you in person. And then I'm like, jokes, not coming. Sorry. And I don't want to be that person. Like, I do not like, One of the best things I've learned from building depth is always do what you say you're going to do. I'm telling you guys, if you start implementing that into every part of your life will change. But always doing what you say you're going to do. And then I've learned that there are a couple exceptions, right? Like this, my situation was an exception, but it needs to be dire straits, like a big exception, like not just like, well, I'm going to be really tired if I go to that. Drink 4 Axios. I don't care. Like, no. Okay. So I chose because I had to cancel again, and I've had to cancel another time too because of same situations. And I'm just seeing this pattern coming that for me personally, I cannot ask anyone to do something that I am not personally doing. Right. I remember I went to this elite academy once, and this lady says to me, she's not on our team. She said to me, I heard that for every 1,000 presentations, you can expect to make $10,000 a year. This was a calculation. Somebody had, said, like, if you talk to that many people, this many will sign up, blah, 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 this will equal that. So she said, I've decided that I'm going to pay my distributors to do meetings. I'm going to pay them. And I can't even remember how much she said, what she was saying exactly. And I said, friend, here's my suggestion to you. You do 1,000 meetings, because when you do 1,000 meetings, then Darcy's going to watch what you're doing. She's going to be like, I want to do that too. And then Jeff's going to watch it. He's going to do it. And he's going to do it too. And now you have all these people doing 1,000 meetings, not just that person you paid. Right. And they're going to be bitter, and they're going to want to listen to you. They're like, I just did all that work for you. The only reason you have money is because I work, not because you're working. And you do not want to create that environment. And so I'm working, I'm doing meetings, and so I just don't want to ask people to come to Building Depth if I'm not going to be there. Now, I will still be promoting it. I will be sharing it because it is powerful. But I'll tell you another thing that I've struggled with, and where this is just, it has brought me great peace in making this decision. Like attracts like. So there's like 40 kids represented on this Zoom right now with 10 of us on here. Okay, there's probably more than, there's like 50. There's a lot of kids, right? And these moms, and also there's a lot of type A, hardworking, I want to win type of people that are attracted to work with me. And I love that. Like, these are all great things. I love this. Here's the problem with those people that want to please their upline. They want to please their leaders. They want them to be proud of them, to be happy with them. And those people that they want to do whatever, they want success, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get that success. When we're saying, come to this, and they can't, because they can't get away from their family that much. They don't have babysitters. They don't have that help, because it's just not something that they can create in their life right now. There's this internal struggle that is created within those people. Now, part of that, they themselves have to deal with. I 100% agree. Like, we have to learn to be able to run the race that we can, right? Like, Tiffany's over here homeschooling 6 kids. The amount of time that Tiffany has to do this business is a little different than Michaela. Michaela doesn't have kids yet. And I know she's got a lot of animals, and I know people in her position, a lot of times are like, those are my kids. I get that, but I cannot lock my kids in a crate. I'm not allowed. Like, I tried it. Didn't work. Just kidding. These are jokes. But the amount of time that those 2 ladies have to work this business, drastically different. And if Tiffany is sitting over here comparing herself to Michaela, it's never going to work. Right. And so we have to, each of us internally, decide what hours are we going to work each week, and then do our best in that time that we actually have. Okay. Because it's all different. And so that is a struggle, I know, for so many people that are like, but I want to be a pro 10, but my life situation says you just need to be happy. Like, let's just keep moving and grooving, and you invite people to the work regularly, and we just got to keep going. Right. And it's hard. Yep. It's hard to fight the comparison. It is, but it's a lie, and the enemy wants to use it to derail you. So we have to tell him to shut up and back off. But with that, what I have decided, so in Colorado Springs, because I can't travel as much as I want to, I am focusing big time big time on building a team here in the Springs. My goal is to have everyone in Colorado Springs know what Pro Tandem is. I was saying I want to sign them all up, but then my like Patty and Greg the other day were like, Melissa, you got to save some for us. I didn't say it out loud, but I'm like, sorry, no, I won't be. But I'm going to say in my meetings, I'm going to be telling the whole world about, I mean, you choose who you're going to work with, right? But we're going to tell the whole world. But I needed a very simple system for everybody to follow. And in the past, I didn't want to be too controlling or bossy with you guys. And I feel like that's like, as a type 8, as my kind of personality, that's the criticism that I've heard my whole life. Like if people get upset with me, it's because I'm being too bossy, I'm being too controlling, whatever. Right. And so I have not been bossy enough because of that thing. Okay. So this is the stuff I'm working on. And some of you probably heard me say that before, but I would say, here's all the options, try, whatever you want to do. And thankfully I've had some people that are just really bold with me and they're like, Melissa, you just tell me exactly what to do and I'm going to do it. And some people really want that. And some people still are going to fight against that and whatever, they're going to fight against it. But I need to be 100% honest with people about like, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're not going to do. So what I'm doing in the Springs, and what I would really love to see each of you guys build in your own communities, because I cannot do this in Fargo, right? Like I'm here, like I can come up there every couple of months and for overnight and do a meeting, but I can't build this kind of culture and this kind of thing. So what we're doing here is Monday nights, we get on team call. Monday night, you jump on that Zoom, and I'm telling cameras need to be on. I'm telling you guys, like it's easy to have your camera off, and I get why you want to, but I'm telling you, if your camera's on, you got a pencil in hand, you're gonna be taking notes, you're gonna get the stuff out of it. Okay, we're gonna do that on Monday nights. And then on Thursday nights, we have an opportunity meeting. Every single Thursday night, we're getting together in the Springs and having an opportunity meeting. My goal is to get my new people speaking as fast as possible. Maybe they start with an introduction. Maybe they tell a product just like about the ProBio. Maybe they tell a little bit here and there, but I want them leading ASAP. Okay. And then once a month, we go to LVA. Now I'm going to encourage all that can to come to Global with us. But if they can't, it's not going to be a big thing. But they are going to be very much encouraged that they go to LVA. It's in Denver. Like for us, it's an hour and a half. It's an hour drive. It's nothing. And then we get a carpool. We're all together. We get to train and hang out and build relationship that whole time. Anyhow, right? And then between Monday and Thursday, what you're doing is you're going out and you're meeting people. And then you're saying, oh, I help, like their stuff comes up. Oh, I help people with that. I'd love to chat with you about that sometime. And we drop it and we pivot and we change the subject to something else. And then people go, oh, I want to know more. They come in. I'm telling you, I'm getting these new people and they're saying, okay, no joke, you guys. I met a girl at our homeschool thing 2 weeks ago. She then came to our thing yesterday. Our sons hit it off. Our sons wanted to get together. I said, yeah. They wanted to come over to our house. I said, come over to our house. She comes in our house and I say, while we're at our thing, I said, I work a full-time job in the nooks and crannies kind of my day. So I can't get together for a lot of activities, but always on Thursday afternoons, this adventure club, like I'm always going to be there. And so I did not elaborate on, I didn't say like, I'm a top leader in a nutrigenomics company. I did not do that. I just say I work, like people know, like I'm doing something, right? Well, then this girl comes to our house and she's sitting at our table. Mind you, I've met her. This is my second time meeting her. And I was like, yeah, you want something to drink? I'm like, I have water or I have Axio. This is actually part of my business. We sell this brain stuff. And I say it like that. I'm not like super salesy. I'm not going to say like most people are trying to dig information out of me because I'm just like, I say a tiny bit and I pivot. And it helps them to not feel pressured. They're like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like they'll say to me, I want to know everything until they start telling me. And then I'm like, never mind, I don't want to buy anymore. It's a mental thing. It's the weirdest thing. It doesn't make sense, but it's just how the human brain works. This girl then says to me, oh man, I think I might be interested. I've been looking for something to sell. Like, I'm not joking. She's telling, I've been looking for something to sell. This friend of mine signed me up for something else, but it was so high pressure. I don't want the high pressure. She's like, already she's saying, you're not pressuring me. I'm very interested. I would really love to do this. And I'm like, well, okay. She said, and then she says, well, how about you send me some links? And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So this is my staying in control of my business, right? I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I said, if you really want to know, we have a meeting once a week. And I said, honestly, on Saturday, we're going up to training. If you want to come with us, we're leaving here at 7:30 in the morning. And again, I'm keeping my tone like this. I'm keeping my excitement. Like, I'm not showing her that I'm like internally like, yes, this girl's so fun. Oh, this is it. Here we go. Right. I'm just like cool as a cucumber. I'm like, if you want, you could come with us. She's like, can I? Yes, I will. I will come. Here I am inviting myself along. Thanks. And she's coming to LVA with us on Saturday. She's still asking me she texted me asking for the links. I have not opened the text yet because I don't want to send her links. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I'm going to ask Jason. I talked to him. But I'm telling you guys, so we just Monday night team call, Thursday night opportunity meeting. Through the rest of the time, we're just meeting people, talk to people. And if it fits and you're like, hey, I got something maybe you'd be interested in. And then we invite them to that. Now, some people in our Colorado Springs team are like, I want to go do meetings with people. I'm going to go and like, I want to do presentations. I'm going to ask them if I can practice on them. I'm going to go ask these people to invite a few friends over, and then I'm going to do a meeting for them. And I'm like, you go for it. If people want to go over and above and do it, yes, for sure. Yes. But I also just signed up a mom the other day with 13 kids. Okay. Mom with 13 kids. I'm like, girl, Monday night, you jump on that call, talk to people, and invite them to our Thursday night thing. It's already set up. There's leaders there talking, and we're going to do a launch. And I talked to her about our launch and not saying too much and just inviting everybody over and let me do the talking, right? We're going to do a launch Zoom and a launch in person. And after that, she's going to be plugging them in to our Thursday night meetings, rinse and repeat. And that is what I think that we need. People talk about systems all the time, that people don't fail, systems fail. Like we need to make this as easy as possible for people to plug in and run that race. And if they want to go over and above, if they have the time to go to building depth and they want to do that, go. Like, we're never going to hold that back. The thing is we need to make sure as we're bringing in teammates, we make that road for them as simple as possible too. Okay. And traveling to an event every month is not feasible for most people. For some people it is though. Right. And so let them, like, yes. Okay, I hope that cleared the air. I love building depth. They asked me, actually, Marcel's like, you're one of us. We love you. Do not, like, he's like, we want you to be involved as much as you want. But honestly, and I love that. But I'm actually going to pull out of the Tuesday night calls because, again, it's another night on that thing. And I want people, and that's why I joined our meetings with Jason on Monday nights too. I want you guys need to be out meeting people more than you're on trainings. You cannot live on training. And I know there's a season where you get like, you just want to suck it all in. That's awesome. Do that. And that's where I'm trying to get building depth to record their calls and have them on a YouTube channel or something where new people come in, they could go watch, they could deep dive and watch 5 months of building depth trainings, right, in a weekend, and just like, because we go through that cycle. But if you're not implementing the stuff that you're learning, it doesn't matter. I have a lady, I won't tell you where she lives. I have a lady on my team that has a file cabinet full of everything to do about LifeVantage. She could answer, she has like testimony saved. She could answer every question for you. I've tried to do 2 meetings for her. She's had no one come to her, maybe like one person come to a meeting once. She will not talk to people. It does not matter how much you know if you do not share it. It does not matter. Okay. There is thank you, Darcy. Right now they're going live, going to be announcing on the official LifeVantage Facebook page. They're announcing what that call is. No, we're on a call. They're going to be announcing the incentive trip right now. So this month, 3 times the points for every distributor you bring in, either with the Elite Pack or the Premier Pack. This is a time I would give people some money back, guys. I'm telling you, those people that you see hit these incentives at the end, they're running some major deals for people. Don't believe the lie that they're just like, oh, all of a sudden magically 10 people signed up full price. No, that's not what happened. They had people that were on the fence and they're like, hey, I know you've been looking at this. I'm running for an incentive this month. And I know you're wanting in just this month. Just this month, I'm going to be handing back 50% of my income, 75%, whatever you choose to do. But bring those people in this month, get yourself on that vacation. Like that's something I have to find my son a babysitter. I don't know who to leave him with. All the people that I love, know, and trust here are pretty much all in my Fanage. So we're all at the same meetings. I'm like, Dave and Greg, you can't be at the same thing as me because I need Elijah to be with you. Anyhow, so that's happening at 9:30. Okay, I'm going to answer these questions. Elaborate on a launch. A launch is you're launching a business, right? Let's say you were starting a clothing brand, or let's say you started a restaurant, or you opened a store, right? You're going to call all your peeps, like everybody that's near you. And I'm telling you, and I said call, and I meant call. I do not mean text. This needs to be a personal invitation that's fast, right? I'm telling you, do this on Power Half Hours. Put us on mute and say, hey, I only have a second, because you only have a second. Like, we're not lying, but set yourself up a time when you only have a second. But hey, I just started a new business. I am super excited about it. I would love for you to come check it out. I'm looking for customers, business partners and referrals. Like, maybe it's not for you at all, but I know it's going to be it's for somebody that you know. I am just blown away. And then you're going to personalize it. I'm blown away by the science. I'm blown away by the timing. If this is a business person, a health person, whatever, tailor it to them. You're blown away by this. You're still learning, but your friend's going to share. Come see this. This is the time. I like to do one in person and one Zoom so we can collect, there are people that live all over. And these are your hot prospects, the people that you know really well. You're just going to invite them all over. And sometimes they can't come, and that's fine. That invite still started that conversation. And then maybe they come with you to that next Thursday night meeting. Maybe they hop on a Zoom with you, right? You can use, if they can't come to that, it's fine. Just get them plugged into the other things, or you sit down and do these meetings for them, guys. You're not going to get better until you suck. Like, you're going to have to do some terrible meetings. I could tell, like, our first meeting, I wish we would have had recorded. I mean, you wouldn't watch it because it was like 2 hours long, and Ryan and I went into every detail, every last thing. Thankfully, we only had one guest show up because we were terrible. Jason did a really great job not laughing at us. And I was like, what do you think? And he was like, well, we're going to keep working on it. And like, just be really honest. Like, I can take hard feedback. It's fine. So that is a launch. Like, we just want to get those new people, get their people going as soon as possible. And then you're going to keep doing that, right? So if you can keep launching, even like if you had a weekly launch with somebody, like Friday nights or Saturday mornings or whatever worked for you and your family, and you said, and tell them, like, I can only do it on this time and this day. Like, if you're bending to everybody else's schedule, you will crash. You will be bitter towards these people that you have said yes to because you didn't really want to say yes, but you felt like you should. And if you do that, I mean, and this is like for all areas of your life, right? When we're like, okay, I could do that. It just builds. There's that really good saying I like that, when you don't speak up because you're trying to keep the peace, like you create a war within yourself, something like that. It's golden, and it's going to work in your business because you want your downline to know too that they can talk to you and you're going to be honest with them, and honest can say, I can't do that, but like, we can do this. But you know how you have that weird tension with people sometimes, and you're like, something's weird here, but I have no idea what it is because they haven't said it. The more you can just be open and honest and keep that weirdness at bay, the better you're going to be at. Okay. So Heather said, my 16-year-old made that exact same observation and voiced it twice in the last few weeks. I don't know what you're referring to, but I would love to know. Did she leave? Oh, no, she's there.
Where you were saying something about being on all the trainings, all the calls, and you're like, I would rather you be having the meeting and actually working. She said, when are y'all going to have time to work the business and actually make money when you're sitting here on all these trainings all the time, all the time, all the time. And I was like, I think that myself sometimes too. And I was like, I don't know, got to balance it. And then when I get off, I've got to do homeschool and the house, and she sees that, and we're trying to buy a house right now. So that cut out more time. And she's like, she's only 16. And she said it twice. And then when you said that, I was like, yep.
Yep. And, you know, oftentimes, like I'll tell people, like, sometimes when people are really starting to run, they're like, oh man, this person wants to get together and have a meeting, or they want to meet up, but we have that training. And I'm like, no. The meetup always comes before the training. Oh, always. We're always going to talk to that new prospect before you're going to jump on a training. But like our Monday night call, if you're not like, that is your team check-in. That is where you're going to get your coaching. And I'm telling you, nobody on your team is going to do it unless you do it. And I see people come in and they're on camera and they're there, and then they dwindle. And I think they dwindle because their team isn't jumping on. But you'll see, like Jason said on last Monday, there's pro fives on my team that don't ever come on the calls anymore. They don't do anything, and their income is dropping, right? But if you want your people on here, you have to do what you want your people to do. And you might have to do it for 3 years before they do it. What if? But what if at 3 years, like your people were like plugging in and running and like all the light bulbs came on, you know? So don't quit. I would say make that Monday night. And telling you, when you say like, let's say it's not like you're not like you have company in town, your family's there visiting, and they're visiting for a week. Okay. I'm not just saying they're there overnight. If they're there overnight, you're going to miss the Monday night call, right? But if they're there for a week, you need to excuse yourself and say, hey, it's my business training time right now. I have to go jump on this call, but I'll be done in an hour, and let's hang out some more. You just told them that you are running a business and that you are serious and dependable. I'm telling you that you doing that, people are like, what? Like they take notice, and people are only going to join people that they trust, right? And that they trust that like they're going to be doing this. Like when they check back with you in 3 months, you're still going to be doing this. And when you say like, I got to jump on this call, I'll be back in an hour. You're teaching a lot about yourself, and your people are really going to be like, okay, here she's not joking about this thing. And it will blow your mind. My father-in-law called me the other day, and he doesn't know like how much I make. He doesn't really know. He just knows I'm still doing this. And he said, and he's babysat for us, like while we went to some meetings and stuff. And we've tried talking to him about this, but he just has like a wall up. He's like, Melissa, I just really didn't know when you guys started doing this. I didn't really know you were going to like really take this serious. Like, I didn't know this was really going to be a thing. Yep. I'm like that. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can nonchalantly tell him how big of a thing this is, but I don't know. Bye, Darcy. Have a great day. I know you got meetings. We need to jump on and see. Anybody find out where that trip's to? And did you see it? Did they? Oh yeah.
They have just announced the points and what's required. There's 4 things: enrollment, retention plan, active events, active account, and events. But they haven't said where yet.
Okay.
So look at this. There are some cool walls in corporate.
It's going to be awesome to go there. Okay. Thanks, Darcy.
Yeah.
We'll jump off of here and
later.
jump over there. Yeah. Global's coming up. Do whatever you can to come. Again, I know. All right. Life. I don't know, this pandemic thing's weird. Usually they would have up our next Elite Academy written down on the website, and they don't have that yet. So I'm sure that'll all be announced at Global, but tickets are down. I don't remember. Did they say we could have 6,000 people there? How many people? 2,000? I don't remember. Jeff, do you remember how many people they said we could have? Okay. I can't remember the number. It's small, and they kept saying it's going to be sold out. It's going to be sold out. there's 1,200 tickets still available. This event is going to be, you're going to be rubbing shoulders with the elites. And I don't think it's going to be much people that aren't elites coming. It doesn't sound like a lot of people are just scared to travel still. And so it's going to be an amazing time. Now, if you came in with a platinum pack in the last year, you have a free ticket to that. It's $175 value. You can watch it virtually though, too. And if you're going to do that, get together with your team, invite somebody over, like have a party, right? It can be hard because you want to listen and then people want to talk. If you're like me, I'm kind of a spaz and I'm like, pipe down, because I'm trying to listen. And so that's not fun. And so it's going to be a great time. And yeah, last time Global, I was up in Fargo. That's so crazy that we were up there with you guys for Global. And then I drove down in the worst weather ever. But okay, I'm going to stop recording. I think that answers the building depth questions. If you have questions more, please get with me. Again, I love building depth. I love the leadership. I love their vision. I just wish we could get together once a year at building depth or something. It's just a lot on top of the corporate events also for me and my schedule. And so for that reason, I'm going to just step aside and do the things, fully commit to the things that I am going to do, so that plans don't keep changing. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be a flake.
Thanks, Melissa.